Welcome back, everybody, to episode 62 of the Movie ReBrew podcast. I'm your host, Keegan Holland. With me is my co-host, Mike Jennison. We back!
Everyone's shocked.
I know. Close to 2 months, right? Maybe exactly 2 months, because I know we were like a week or two out from It Chapter 2, the last one we did. Yeah, no, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It was mid-July.
It's been 3 months.
3 months. Jesus.
Also, this is our 2-year anniversary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Did not even realize. This is our quad annual podcast, I guess.
We did Thor Ragnarok in a little sleepy Columbus basement in 2017.
Nice.
Now we've taken off to the stratosphere, you know? So.
No, neither of us is in Columbus.
It's true.
Do you miss it at all?
Do I miss Columbus, Ohio?
Yeah.
I can't say I miss Columbus, Ohio. Do I miss the people? I do. Do I love Ohio State? Yes, great time. But I don't miss Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, neither do I.
A lot of the people that I miss aren't in Columbus, Ohio, so it doesn't really matter.
I miss Cleveland, and I guess I miss Chicago, because a lot of my friends moved to Chicago. But, yeah. This week, why am I saying this week? This episode, we're not even weekly anymore. We are doing 3 movies. I guess 3 movies that we have both seen. I've seen about 7 or 8 movies. But the ones we'll be talking about in depth will be Ad Astra, Joker, and Parasite.
I have a fun game we're going to do for the movies that I haven't seen that Keegan has seen.
Okay, this is unplanned, but that's exciting.
It is unplanned, but I came up with it on the drive to school today. So
awesome.
Should we talk about what we've been doing in the last 3 months?
Sure. Let's bring up our beers. Because we do this so rarely, we actually are doing beer this time. We're doing half of our podcast theme, I guess. I'm drinking Modern Times Spaceways for Ad Astra.
No
Look how nice that looks. Looks like a fucking orange juice.
And Joker.
And the Joker, why?
They've watched Modern Times and Joker.
Oh, shit. Nice.
That's why I thought you got it.
No, Spaceways. So wow. I had this beer. This is from San Diego. I doubt any listeners are on the West Coast. But, yeah, this is a San Diego brewery. You know what's huge in Southern California? Hazy IPAs are huge. And I had this at an Ohio State watch party, and it's fucking incredible.
When you say hazy IPAs, do you mean like the from New Belgium?
No, it's a kind of IPA. I think it's also like a New England IPA.
Is it a fruity one? Is it a fruity one?
Yeah. It looks like an orange juice. Look at that.
I mean, yeah.
It's amazing.
It looks delicious.
Yeah, it's so good.
So I had a nice little 6-pack from Trader Joe's with a bunch of local Nashville craft breweries. It would have been great to pick out any of those to at least sample the scene. Drink all of them this weekend. Did not save any for this podcast. However, my dad, was nice enough to bring me down a case of Great Lakes Nosferatus 2 months ago, and I still have 2 left in the fridge. Wow. So I'm drinking Nosferatu by Great Lakes. My all-time favorite beer, so it's still special. Are you drinking on this pod?
No, we haven't. I still have never had it.
Waiting for the right opportunity. You never had it?
Never had it. It's like red, isn't it? Is that one?
Yeah. So
yeah. Hell yeah.
Let's get a good view for the listeners at home right here. There you guys go. But yeah, it's red, and it can be red for almost anything we're talking about today for blood. So it's also the end of spooky season for all you sorority girls out there. So that's good.
Yeah, we're doing this the day before Halloween. Yeah. So life updates. I moved to Los Angeles to pursue my passions. And Mike is now in school in Nashville.
Yes, I am. Yeah. In the Chevelle.
For being
3 months, still breathing, so that's good.
Yeah, we're both still alive. I'm barely breathing because of the smoke, but thank you.
Yeah, I guess Keegan can't leave his house now because of smoke advisories. Is that what they call them?
Yeah, I'm only a few miles away from the Getty fire that's currently destroying the Reagan Library and most of Southern California. So
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, it's really bad.
Wow.
It's really
Is it
bad
by
out
the
here.
Getty Museum?
I don't know.
Hmm.
It's to my northwest. That's all I know. So don't cross the 405 is what I've been told.
How is Southern California? I'm wearing a USC sweatshirt for you today.
Hell yeah, dude. It's lovely. I like my job a lot. I like the people I work with, but I do miss Cleveland and my friends and my family a lot, but that's why I'm glad we're doing this again, Mike. It's good to finally talk to you.
Aw, what a sweetheart. Can you talk about the project you're working on, or is that not?
No,
Is
I
that
signed an
you gotta
NDA.
wait? Ah,
Big time no.
all
Sorry.
right.
It's
That's too bad.
exciting. I'm working on exciting stuff. I like my job a lot, but can't really talk
Can
about
you
it.
talk about what company you work for?
Yeah, Kerner Entertainment. It's owned and operated by Jordan Kerner, who basically made our childhoods. Mighty Ducks, George of the Jungle.
They told me to say this.
Yeah,
Get it?
no free ads. Inspector Gadget, like a lot of the early 90s, 2000s Disney movies were him. More recently, he did Charlotte's Web and the Smurfs, the live action Smurfs movies. So, pretty big. I didn't realize who it was when I applied for the job. And then I heard back, looked it up, I was like, oh shit, I've seen most of this guy's work. So,
Yeah, yeah, that's legit. Keegan's also rocking some sick new thick brim glasses.
hell yeah, dude. I'm actually a contacts guy now for the first time in like 6 years. I'm off the glasses train, but you caught me on a good day.
Wow, SoCal is rubbing off on you.
For sure. For sure. Let's get to the little news we have.
Good evening. I'm Will McAvoy.
I'm Evan Baxter, and here's what's making news.
Good evening. I'm Ron Burgundy, and this is what's happening in your world tonight.
First one, kind of a big one. It was sudden. David Benioff and D.B. Weiss dropped out of Star Wars. They are the notorious writers for Game of Thrones, in particular Season 8, which was a total disaster. The outcry on the internet has been mostly positive that they're done, but they said it's because they signed a 9-figure deal with Netflix earlier this year, and they couldn't dedicate themselves to both Star Wars and their Netflix contracts. So this is a long line of Lucasfilm firing or losing directors on projects. Gareth Evans or Edwards, I can't remember which one it was very quietly fired off Rogue One late in that production. Phil Lord and Chris Miller were fired off Solo. Colin Trevorrow was released of his duties for Episode 9, and Josh Trank was fired from a Boba Fett Solo movie. So, they've made, how many new Disney Lucasfilm movies have there been? 5?
5.
And only...
Signal 5. No, 4. About to be 5.
Okay, so only episode 7 and
Rogue
8.
One, Solo, episode 7 and 8.
Okay, so yeah. So 3 of the 5, with 9, including 9, have had director problems, and then now 2 more unmade ones have had problems. So yeah, this is a kind of a big issue, but I'm relieved that they're no longer doing a Star Wars movie after they so terribly messed up Game of Thrones. I mean, do you care at all?
I don't care at all. However, do you think they were actually taken off this project? Let's put our foil hats on for a second.
Right. I mean, a lot of people, industry is like, see, you can't, because everyone figured they phoned season 8 in because they were focusing on Star Wars. So they're like, see, you shouldn't have phoned it in. This is what you get. This is karma. But the timeline doesn't really work out that well for that to be the case. I think it is just, hey, Netflix is giving us $250 million to make stuff for X amount of years. I don't think we can do more. And then doing Star Wars is an insane amount of pressure. After doing Game of Thrones, like I doubt they want to do that again.
It was a new original trilogy. Like that just sounds like you're gonna get burned at the stake.
I mean, fuck! Look at Ryan Johnson. Look at his Twitter mentions still to this day.
Yeah, Now
I
he
don't wanna
handles
do
it
that.
well, but a lesser man, someone of
Yeah,
my
I mean,
stature,
he's a G.
would crumble. No, I agree. Probably the right choice on all parts. It doesn't really matter why it's happening, but I think it's for the best.
Agreed.
Is there still going to be this trilogy coming out in 2022 that hasn't been announced?
I think they're gonna stop putting dates out because
They mean nothing.
they mean nothing. They never stick to them. It's like, yeah, like, is Ryan Johnson still even getting his trilogy? I have no idea. Lucasfilm is kind of in shambles right now, though they did announce that Obi-Wan series, or was that a movie for Disney Plus? I don't know.
And Kevin Feige is now going to be...
Kevin Feige, yeah, he's
I always pronounce it Feige. It's fine.
yeah, he got just whatever. He's now working closely with Kathleen Kennedy in Lucasfilm, and then he got promoted at Marvel, where he's overseeing TV, I think comics and movies as well. So it seems like they're kind of like grooming him to take over as Disney CEO, because I think Bob Iger's stepping down in a couple years.
Iger's just been stepping down for like a couple years now, but yeah, I think that'll eventually happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's pretty old. He put out that book about his legacy, so I think he's on his way out. But I mean,
Yeah,
I could see them wanting Kevin Feige to take over.
Damn. His track record don't lie, so...
Yep. Look at all the Disney stuff. Marvel is by far the most profitable. They can't really miss over the last 10 years. So I think it'd be in good hands.
It's actually, and I'm using big air quotes here, original too, compared to like all the live action shit they're doing with Disney. So
yeah.
It's new OP. Is that even the right word to
IP.
use? IP.
OP is overpowered. IP is intellectual property.
You learn something new every day. How about that?
Oop, just got an email about evacuee status. Could this be me? Could I need to leave mid-podcast to escape the flames? Let's see. Nope, we good.
What's your living setup? Arrangement. Like,
I'm in a house with 4 other people.
Oh, do you guys all share a kitchen?
Share a kitchen, share a living room, which I never use, but yeah, laundry and everything.
How is it?
It's good. I never really have any lines for the bathroom, and I always have access to the laundry pretty much, so it's never been an issue. Everyone's super nice. We don't really hang out, but it's good.
That's cool. Sounds trill.
Super trill.
Back to the news at hand. You got more news?
I can't remember. I feel like we said things before the episode started, but I can't remember.
Game of Thrones, the thing that was going to come out fairly soon, right?
So the prequel Game of Thrones that took place like 3,000 years before Game of Thrones, starring Naomi Watts. They shot the pilot in June, and I guess it just didn't work. They tried a couple edits of it, and so they just scrapped it recently. But they did announce that they're doing a Targaryen show that's set 300 years before Game of Thrones, and it's getting right to series. Like, they're not even doing a pilot or anything. It's going right to series. And it's from George, I can't remember the writer, and then Miguel Sapochnik, who is one of the best directors on that show. So,
George R.R. Martin?
Yes. Yes, me and George are on a first-name basis. So that's exciting, I guess. I don't know. I'm so done with Game of Thrones.
It feels like it's losing steam as far as other people care about Game of Thrones too.
Yeah.
So
if I don't know, if season 8 would have done well, they'd be printing money forever. But I think people are kind of sick of it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I'll check it out. There's enough good shit on HBO though to keep subscribing. It seems like Naomi Watts' career is just having a tough time here. You know? Last thing I saw her in was Birdman, but she's a very minor character in that. And then before that, like King Kong.
She's in The Glass Castle.
Oh, that's right, she is. Totally forgot. You love that movie.
She's in... I love that movie. The movie was awesome. I cried so hard during that movie.
I've gotten 2 calls today from Maryland about my arrest, about my
Wow,
my
you're wanted
pending
for-
arrest. So I don't know what I did, but I'm a wanted man.
So Keegan might have to escape from the law or a fire by the end of this pod. Time will tell.
Either way, I'm not making it through it. This will be the second pod I don't make through.
Rip. I'm looking through the news right now. Nothing's jumping off the table.
Jumping
about
off
you?
the table.
Is that even a saying?
Off the
Jumping
page?
Jumping off the page. It's a screen though, Keegan. So yeah. I got one more thing. So I've been a little bit. Are you done with news?
Yeah, I got nothing. I barely scraped together that.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. You scraped that together though. Okay, so I've been like falling behind on the Oscars this year, so I wanted to kind of catch up before this pod. So I just looked at Gold Derby and their Oscar predictions. So I'm just gonna run through their top 10 movies this year so far. Some things kind of surprised me. They say the favorite right now is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which I found startling and shocking.
How do you think I feel? A man who downright hates that movie.
Andrew does?
I do.
Oh, you do. I'm like, Andrew. You do hate that movie. I enjoyed it. The Irishman, who I don't think you've seen it yet, right?
No. It's showing in
Marriage-
some local theaters currently. But when does it come to Netflix?
I want to say right around Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Maybe the day before the Thanksgiving. And then I saw the theater that I saw Parasite at yesterday, the local indie theater by me. They don't get it until I think it's almost on Netflix. So it's like,
Yeah.
I would love to. November 1st it gets released.
I'm not seeing an
gotta be-
AMC anywhere. I'm back on A-list, by the way. It's the greatest
Are
thing.
you?
Yeah, can't be.
Here, Regal's got a thing now. This is
Yeah,
some news,
I saw
'cause
that.
Yeah, $25, all you can watch, no restrictions for a month, like 10% off at concessions. There's a good amount of Regals and a good amount of AMCs around me. I'm gonna pull the trigger on one. How much is AMC a month, Keegan?
In California, it's 23, but I think other places it's 19, 20.
Yeah, so for $5 more, Regal has no limitations. Is that worth it? Probably not. Plus, there's also a knife and fork AMC by me, so I can enjoy a
dine-in.
luxurious meal. Yeah, dine-in.
I've seen
Yeah,
the last
AMC
2
by me.
movies at dine-in. I fucking hate dine-ins.
Oh, really?
Well, it was okay for Parasite, but I saw The Lighthouse at a dine-in, and you need to watch that in a pitch black room to sometimes see stuff. And they have like lights so your waiters can find you, and it's just like it ruined it. I couldn't see shit half the time.
Well, that's when a diner does not work out. But I would have loved to, There are certain movies that I would have liked to have been eating, like, I don't know, mozzarella stick stirring. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I would have enjoyed it. Would have been better with a mozzarella stick.
Everything's better with a mozzarella stick, though. That's my go-to Google
mozzarella
search.
sticks near me. Yeah.
Mozzarella sticks near me.
3's Marriage Story. That stars Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver. Super excited for that. I imagine you haven't seen that yet, right?
No, from Noah Baumbach, a very hit-or-miss man, but I'm excited for that.
Jojo Rabbit's 4. Parasite's 5, which we're going to talk about later. 1917, a World War I drama, which I heard can stick up against any other war movie, getting high praise.
It's from Sam Mendes, who did a lot of the recent Bond movies.
Oh, how about that? Seven Little Women, Saoirse Ronan starring in that. It's directed by Greta Gerwig. Timothy Chalamet's in that. Gwyneth Pugh. What's her name?
Florence Pugh.
Let's see. I think Meryl Streep said that. So is Laura Dern. Just an incredible cast. 8's Joker, which is hilarious. 9's and Emma Watson. I'm so sorry for almost everyone out there for me forgetting that. It's really embarrassing. 9's A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. That stars Tom Hanks. It's the Mr. Rogers biopic. 10 Ford and Ferrari, starring Matt Damon and Christian Bale. So some interesting movies in there. It seems like it's gonna be a really good year for movies. I've only seen 3 of those.
Well, it's been shitty so far.
Yeah, 11's Farewell, which King can see. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah,
The Farewell's good.
it has been bad year for movies, but if you're asking where's Avengers Endgame, it's 16th on this list. So it's losing some steam, but it's
if
still
anything,
the most.
it would get the Return of the King treatment and get the nod just for legacy. But I don't think it'll get a nod.
I don't think it will either.
Of all of those, I think I'm most excited for Ford vs. Ferrari. Is that a bad take?
Well, here's the thing. When we were doing our beginning of the year, going through movies, I'm like, oh, this movie's supposed to get released in June, remember? And you're both like, ugh. I mean, this could be one of those movies that gets like a 63 on Rotten Tomatoes, makes a decent amount of money, but is just like boring as hell.
Yeah.
I'm still worried that it's going to be like that. Maybe it's going to get better reviews than that, but I don't know. I'm not a car guy.
I forgot they pushed it. But maybe they pushed it because they think this could be an award winner.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's getting good reviews right now. I don't know. For me, I think I'm most excited for Marriage Story, starring ScarJo and Adam Driver. Heard Adam Driver might win an Academy Award for that, so we'll see. Now, want to get into the movies?
Sure. Let's start with Ad Astra.
You can't handle the truth.
She's gone from suck to blow.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Okay, so before we get into Ad Astra, Keegan's going to give a rundown of every movie he's seen that I haven't seen since August. I'm going to put 3 minutes on the clock. Keegan has to give his non-spoiler take on the movie. At the end of it, I will say if I'm going to put it on my list for movies to watch in 2019 or not. I completely made up the scheme right now.
Okay.
So, Keegan, you get 3 minutes. I'm going to tell you the clock. You tell me your score, and then I'm going to tell you if I will see it or not. Ready, set, go.
It Chapter 2. Mike, you nailed it with your cautions before it, that it's too long, it loses all sense of scariness and tension because the scares are all the same and it goes on forever. The Peanut Butter Falcon is... What? Clock it, yeah. The Peanut Butter Falcon is...
No, time.
Sorry.
That was only 15 seconds. That was awesome.
3 minutes per movie?
No, you get 3 total minutes.
Okay.
But I want to pause it for me to say that I'm not going to go see that movie. Go.
Okay.
Go.
Peanut Butter Falcon. Maybe my favorite movie of the year. Shia LaBeouf, I've always been a huge fan of his. He's amazing. The new kid they got with Asperger's, autism. Oh, God, I can't remember. He's excellent. Dakota Johnson, I was never really a fan of, but she's really good in this movie. It's basically a Mark Twain retelling, and at the end of the movie, my mom turned to me, bawling her eyes out, and said, and I quote, "I think that's the best movie I've ever seen." Time.
I'm seeing it. Wow. High praise.
Okay, The Farewell. An awesome look at the cultural differences between China and America. We haven't really seen anything like that, or at least I haven't. Awkwafina delivers an amazing performance. I think she is very worthy of an Academy Award nomination. I'm not sure if she'll get it or not. It's sad and very funny, and it's a really cool look at the two cultures. Time.
I want to see it. I'm really upset I haven't seen it. Go.
Blinded by the Light. If you're a big Springsteen fan, I think this will hit home. I think it does. It has like these fantastical elements that it goes to semi-frequently, but not often enough, but also too much for them to really work. It's an okay movie. I had a fun time with it, but I'm also a pretty big Bruce Springsteen fan. But if you're a huge fan of The Boss, it would deliver way more. Time.
You're a big fan of Bruce Springsteen?
Yeah, they play all of his hits, so like I love his hits.
Okay, cool. I want to go see that. Go.
El Camino. If you're a Breaking Bad fan, you know that the show ended absolutely perfectly. This movie did not need to be made, but it's 2 more hours in the Breaking Bad universe, and it's a really fun time and tense as shit. Vince Gilligan can do no wrong, and Aaron Paul is good. There are some weird elements with bringing characters back that have clearly aged and gained weight, but I think if you're a fan of the series, you should definitely check it out.
I've never seen it. Go. I've never seen Breaking Bad. I don't plan to see this. Go.
Hold on, I can't remember if I have any other ones. Give me a second here.
Was that a Netflix movie?
Yes, it was. Camino? Oh, got one more. I have one more.
Go.
Zombieland 2.
You made this look easy.
If you like the first one, it's more the same. It's a fun romp with good jokes and good action. It doesn't reinvent the wheel by any means, but if you like the first one, there's no reason you wouldn't like the second one. It's just more of the same shit. time.
All right, you did it with 19 seconds to spare. That was impressive.
Hell yeah.
Out of all those movies, Peter Falcon, I am juiced for now. And I will not see Zombieland 2 because I haven't seen Zombieland 1, but I do love that cast. I think I would enjoy Zombieland 1. How shocking is it that they made a sequel to Zombieland?
I think 10 years later, too, right? Or 11 years later? Like, way too long.
Way too long. Really too long. Jesse Eisenberg, not enough. How about that?
Not enough? What do you mean?
Not in enough stuff.
Oh.
Like,
yeah.
Eisenberg. He's not,
I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's great in everything. Also, the man does not age at all.
Eisenberg?
Yeah.
He could play a high schooler still.
Yeah, he's looked 12 for the last 15 years. Good on Eisenberg. All right, so now we're going to get into the meat of our program. All right, Keegan, save us.
All right, so Ad Astra tells the story of Brad Pitt, who plays an astronaut sent on a classified mission to go find his father, who I want to say decades before was lost in space, but they have reason to believe that he is still alive out there because the Earth has been getting like these random pulses from deep space that has been knocking out power. So it's Brad Pitt's mission to go and see if he's still alive and what's happening. This movie looks damn good. I mean, I love space movies because at the base level of a space movie, it's going to look awesome. The moments of silence are going to be like so cool to me. The score is always going to be great. But overall, it's just kind of sad and boring, I guess. I don't know. Nothing really stood out.
Interject for a second?
Go ahead.
I call this movie Gravity. Daddy issues. It's basically Gravity, but the guy is just obsessed with his father. I think this movie's super boring. Like, really boring. And as Keegan always says, every space movie is just, we get in an issue, we need to get out of this issue over and over and over and over and over and over again until it finally ends. And this movie is just like that. Didn't reinvent the wheel.
This end is insane, too. Not like, oh my god, but like, what? It's just kind of a weird ending.
Yeah, it just...
Also, can we just agree to stop putting Tommy Lee Jones in shit? Like, it's so clear he doesn't want to be there. He probably doesn't even know he's on set. He just, like, I don't know, his phones everything in. His last good performance was probably No Country for Old Men, and that was, 12 years ago?
Oh, yeah. I was going to go Fugitive.
Fair.
Which is like 92. But, yeah, No Country. He's fine, no Country.
I'm joking. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so Tommy Lee Jones is in this movie, and it took me on the movie so hard and so fast. I got back into it, but man, yeah, Tommy Lee Jones, I agree, should not be in anything ever again. Just retire, man. You got your Academy Award. You're sitting on a pile of money. You're good.
It's like him and Bruce Willis. Just like, stop. Do you even like what you do anymore?
60.
Dude, Bruce Willis is bad.
Wasn't he in something recently, Bruce Willis?
Oh, he's in a bunch of shit. But it's like always a disaster.
He shouldn't act for 10 years and then have a minor role in a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
That would be his best career choice at this point if he wants to rejuvenate his career.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie is pretty as hell though, and I like what life is like on the moon, what life is like on Mars.
Like the. Oh, I'm sorry. Whatever. It's such a minor thing, but we'll get into spoilers after this. But I don't know, I really like Brad Pitt a lot.
Yeah, he's great in this movie.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's a bad movie. I even think it's a good movie. I just think it drags in the middle a bit, and then Tommy Lee Jones is just terrible. But I don't know. I'm just such a sucker for space movies and like sci-fi scores and stuff that it's a lot of it works for me.
I mean, yeah, this movie is pretty as can be. The score's awesome. If you're a fan of space movies, I'm assuming you're gonna really enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
They're just not necessarily my cup of tea. Some are, but most aren't. kind of for the reason that Keegan says, the gravity effect, where it's like the same thing over and over again. And this one really is like that. But, Brad Pitt's performance keeps you locked in enough. I'm going to give this, should I score it right now? Let me get into spoilers.
Yeah.
I give this a 7 already on Twitter. So I'll give it a 7. Like, it's not a bad movie. I can't give this a negative review. But at the same point, I will never see this movie again. That's fair, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd give it a 7 as well. And it's not like 7 because it's doing a lot of shit really good and only some stuff bad. But overall, it's not like a thing I want to revisit again.
And I feel like the things they do bad is just more just not my cup of tea instead of like, this movie's bad, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if someone to watch this movie, it's like, this movie was perfect. I'd be like, yeah, I mean, that's fine, whatever. I could see how you get there. For me, this just was not my movie.
Yeah.
But Brad Pitt's good. Brad Pitt's got range, too. Two very different roles this year. This role will help him probably get his first Academy Award, which I'm pretty sure he's heavy fair to a Best Supporting Actor, which is awesome. Everyone wants Brad Pitt to get an Oscar, right? So,
Yeah.
I think this will help him.
Speaking of that, actually, they're running Matt Damon and Christian Bale as lead actor for Ford vs. Ferrari. Isn't that weird?
Which is madness, really.
Yeah. Usually you split those up, but that'll help Brad Pitt.
It'll help Brad Pitt, and it'll help anyone lead actor. We'll probably get more in a lead actor here. We talk about Joker, but let's get into spoilers. You brought up the mood scene. So spoilers for Ad Astra. Yeah, that might have been the most exciting part of the movie, was the chase scene on the moon.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And I love how once someone gets shot, they just like float slowly off the cart. I don't know. Space is so fucking cool.
The attention to detail of this movie is awesome.
And I love the world building they do. Just so like brief. They don't dwell on really anything. You just move through this near future Earth where we colonize Mars, we colonize the moon, and they don't really dwell on any of it. But yeah, I just think that is so cool. But the ending,
the Dark Side of the Moon Part 2, where they finally drive into like the dark side of the moon.
Oh yeah,
that looked really cool.
That was sick.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
the Mars facility was sweet. The jaggedy, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, Mars was so depressing too, which I feel like it honestly would be if we ever colonized it. It'd be tough to actually make that viable. Yeah. I felt that.
So far, there's no one there really. Yeah, I felt that big time. I don't know who that actress is, but I wanted her to be in it way more than she was.
And I thought she was going to be.
Yeah, but she has like two scenes.
Yeah, when she first was on camera, like when she was first on screen, the camera will like stop for a second on her, and you're like, oh, she's gonna be a major person in this movie, and no, she was not.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get to the brutal ending here. Is that what you want? You bringing up?
So it culminates with just pure sadness of Tommy Lee Jones reconnects with his son after let's call it 4 decades, and he basically tells him to fuck off. I hate you. I hate the Earth. Let me die out here. It's like, oh my God, dude. Like, just brutal. But I know the theme of it is being so committed to your work where it's detrimental to you and those around you. But, God damn, dude. that was tough.
Yeah, fine theme. But when Brad Pitt had to physically let go of Tommy Lee Jones so he could save himself, I just wanted to, like, find something sharp and hurt myself with it. I could hear my eyes rolling in the theater. It was so bad. Was that brutal for you too?
Yeah. And I still don't understand the pulse thing from his ship. How is he doing that? And how is it traveling so far? And what was it?
Oh, that Tommy Lee Jones was trying to communicate with people?
No, I think he was trying to damage Earth so they couldn't get him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if he was trying to damage Earth or if it was just like the technology was supposed to not be there at this point in time. So like it was going bad and it was just like self-destructing and it was causing damage to Earth. That's what I thought. Tommy Lee Jones was an a-hole, so maybe that's really what Tommy Lee Jones was trying to do. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I don't know. And I didn't really care to look it up either afterwards.
I walked out of this theater like, oh, I'm very disappointed with that movie. I thought it was going to be a lot better. Which maybe it wasn't fair. Because walking out of the theater, then you're like, that's kind of what it should have been. But I don't know. I kind of wanted more Blade Runner 2049, and I got a lot of Gravity.
Tommy Lee Jones killed his crew. That was... Did you see that coming? I kind of saw that coming.
Nah, not really. That kind of caught me off guard. But this is one movie that has like too many twists and turns where you become numb to them almost. Is that fair?
Yeah. How about that scene with the orangutan though?
I jumped out of my seat so high.
It was so scary. That was one of the best scenes this year. That was horrifying.
That was so scary. My hands were definitely over my face. You could have gave me 100 guesses on what was about to pop up, and orangutan never would have been said.
Yeah.
Yeah. There were some really good moments in this movie. Visually stunning.
I guess you kind of put it the best way. It's not bad. I just want it to be better.
It's not a bad movie. Actually, as I'm saying this now, there's more things than I'm actually saying that I liked about it. But
yeah, I mean, 7 out of 10 is a good score.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a bad movie. It's not my cup of tea. How about the fight scene though when they're taking off and they realize him and he like kills all three of them in an accident?
I know, and he hates doing it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, he did not want to go and answer that distress signal too. So all of the death that he causes is so not what he wants to do, like at all. He just kind of falls into it. Yeah. That was actually really good. Also, that scene where he's chasing down, not really, but they're about to take off from Mars and he goes through like the water tunnel and shit. That was sick.
Oh, yeah.
That was sick.
Yeah. That was sick. Yeah, I mean, there's some really cool parts in this movie. How about the love story that Brad Pitt has, though, with the girl?
With Liv Tyler?
Liv Tyler. Who's Liv Tyler's
gorgeous.
I need someone else other than Liv Tyler in that role. Just distracting, also. But in the last scene, she like walks into the bar. Is that real? I assume it's real.
Yeah, I think that's real. Yeah. He makes it back, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's just most of Liv Tyler has to do is look into a camera for about 5 seconds, and that's it. I don't know. I just feel like that was such a tacked-on thing for no reason, really. Maybe it was showing that he also has no connections to the Earth, also, and he's kind of like his dad. But then he comes back and reconnects with her. I don't know.
Well, there was definitely that thing because like he was turning to his dad because he was trying to live up to his dad's legacy, and B in the back of his mind he thought his dad could possibly be alive, and he could see his dad. Who was the old guy in this? Another famous actor, right? Who was his dad's?
Sutherland. Fuck.
Keith Sutherland's dad?
No. Oh, is
Donald
it Sutherland?
Sutherland's dad?
Donald Sutherland? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Donald Sutherland.
Did I get it right? Yeah, how about that? Yeah, he was good in it. I like.
Yeah, I wanted him to go on the fucking mission though.
Yeah, he died too early.
Yeah. There's no like companion for Brad Pitt, really. He was constantly changing people. And I liked a lot of the companions. But yeah, he gets cast aside early. The woman on the Mars gets cast aside early. Yeah, it's kind of just him alone. Which I guess, maybe again, is a theme. Isolation and shit, but...
Yeah. No, probably.
Oh, well. Alright, anything else to add about Ad Astra?
Nah. You won't see this movie again, will you?
No, I don't think I will.
This might be... We should maybe make a new award. We could maybe call it the Ad Astra, but most likely movie to forget you saw it in 10 years. That someone brings up at a dinner party. You ever seen Ad Astra?
The plaque of the award just gets longer and longer.
That's like looped down. It's like a log on last name on a football jersey. Yeah, I could see it now. 2030, I'm at a dinner party and someone asks me if I've seen Ad Astra, and I just give them a shrug and go, I have no idea what that is. Then they talk about it, and 10 minutes later I realize, oh yeah, I saw that movie. Isn't Tommy Lee Jones in it?
My uncle, he came and visited a couple weeks ago, and he says he doesn't see movies. In the last 10 years, he's seen like 2 movies in theaters. Ad Astra and Chappaquiddick. That's so weird.
Wait, Ad Astra and what? I couldn't hear over I laughed.
Chappaquiddick, the movie about Ted Kennedy killing that girl in the river, starring Jason Clarke.
I don't even know what that is. It sounds
okay. It's like 2014 maybe. But yeah, just so random. Doesn't see movies and sees Ad Astra.
Yeah, I mean that's... Did he like it?
7 out of 10.
Did he like it? Should have had your uncle on as our guest.
I know. He would be a riot. Alright, so let's get to the Joker.
Here's something. Do you think I like this movie? Because I know I at least I know your number already. Do you think I like this movie?
No.
Guess my take, and I'll tell you if you're right or wrong.
So, like, guess a score or guess general thoughts?
General thoughts and throw out a score at me.
Okay. I'm going to say you liked Walking Penis's performance, but this is going to just evolve into me, like, giving my take. But you liked Penis, and really nothing, and you liked the score and the cinematography, but nothing else. Score, you give weird numbers. 5.25 out of 10.
So I did love Walking Penis. He was phenomenal in this. It'd be weird to see him win as a cameo award for this role because he's been wonderful in everything, and
yeah.
But I'd be fine with that. But I actually really did enjoy this movie.
Really?
Yeah, I did, and I wanted to hate it. You know me, I wanted to hate it, but I really did enjoy it. I like how I've been quoted on here saying I don't go into the movie wanting to hate it. Some movies I go in wanting to hate it.
Yeah, you do.
Let's be honest.
You really do. You're like
but
king
no,
of that.
What'd you say?
You're the king of that.
No, I'm not. But no, I actually really enjoyed this movie. I think it gave some empathy to a group of people who maybe don't think they deserve it, but I think they do. I think if we actually want to really attack on this epidemic that we're having with mass shooters and random acts of violence, I think it's one to kind of take a step inside and figure out what actually drives people to that extent. Did it have to be a superhero movie that was going to do it? No, but I mean, this one was a good start to it. I thought Joaquin Phoenix did a great job of portraying that on screen. So that's why I really liked it. There were some things that made me want to like leave the theater about that were kind of cringy, but really, I enjoyed it. I thought it was be way more Taxi Driver than it was, thank God. And yeah, I was a big fan.
A couple things. One, I think you hit the nail on the head that this did not need to be a comic book movie at all. And in fact, it really wasn't. Aside from the occasional Wayne popping up and the name Joker, this has nothing to do with the comic book Joker that we know in like any way. Like there's nothing tying it to the DC comic book at all, except for face paint and the name, and Gotham City. Have you seen The King of Comedy?
I have not.
Okay. Because some people are saying it's more that than Taxi Driver. I'm not really sure. Obviously, Penis is good, right? He's never been bad. But I think the performance is just very repetitive. It's kind of laugh, gets punched in the face, does something nuts, laughs, gets hit in the face by a board, does something nuts. It's just very, I don't know. He dances often. It's just, I would be upset if this is what he wins for instead of her. For example, it does. I
agree.
He does those four things really well, but I just think it's kind of it just cycles through those throughout the movie.
I think it would be weird if he won as a cameo award for that, and I do agree that it would have been great if this movie had anything to do with DC Comics, because this movie doesn't have to be. But unfortunately, we're in a climate right now, as far as movies are concerned, that we can't get anything made that takes risks unless it's like tied to a superhero movie. So
speaking of IP, yeah.
Yeah. It really just needs IP attached to it. Like Blade Runner 2049 doesn't get made unless it has Blade Runner in front of it. Which, like, that movie, did it really need to be Blade Runner? I guess so. It attacked a lot of the themes that Blade Runner did, yada, yada, yada. I'm getting off topic here. But, Joker, yes. Joker. I disagree with his performance was the same thing over and over again. I think you saw him slowly losing grip with reality. I really thought he did a good job of that. And, like, one part that really resonated with me was, like, when he, like, was going to the social worker and it's like, I need to be better medicated, like, please, I know I should be on more drugs. Like, he knew he was nuts. And she was like, you're on 8 medications already. I'm sure you're fine. Like, stuff like that. And you know, he's talking to what's his name?
Brian Tyree Henry. Yep.
Who shows up in this movie somehow, some way.
Because he's a legend. A great Atlanta reunion with him and Jay-Z Beats.
Yeah. And he's like, we have programs for them. He's like, actually, no, you guys don't have programs. So, yeah, Are you really
holding a bottle of pills right now?
Huh?
Are you holding a bottle of pills?
Yeah, it's ibuprofen.
Okay. Fuck. It added to the mise en scène.
Thank you. I like the dancing. The dancing doesn't really happen until like the later stages of the movie either. The stairs scene, it got made fun of so much on Twitter before I saw it that it probably lost a little bit of its luster, but I still really enjoyed it. And it really packs a punch, the climax. I did not need all the Bruce Wayne stuff. Every time that I saw Bruce Wayne, it was like, this is so dumb. But what do I come to expect from a superhero movie? You're going to get shoehorned things in there, like always.
The movie was memed to death before it even came out.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing really you can really do about that. I mean, I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. But, yeah, obviously it's going to hurt the final product when you're already laughing at, like, main scenes and shit. But the score
All the
is
memes were
so...
hilarious.
What'd you say?
All the memes were hilarious.
Oh, they're so good. But the score is amazing, and unfortunately, they rely on a Gary Glitter song for a peak moment in the movie that just... I'm like... Why are the 95 Chicago Bulls about to run out of a tunnel right now? What is this song choice? Did that not, like, totally take you out of it?
So when I saw it getting, like, all the memes kept the music in it, which made it just sound ridiculous. And I'm like, is that actually the music that they're going to play there? But in the movie, it worked. Just because it's something that you associate with, like, a sporting event. 95 Bulls, that's hilarious. But it's something you socialize with a sporting event. And I think just, like, tossing it, something that we know so well from, like, Stadium Rock, and tossing it into this world, it really it made it even more spooky for me. So I think that's what they're going for, and for me, it worked.
Interesting. We should get into spoilers after we score it. I already put my score out, I think. Maybe not. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10.
Thumb up, thumb down.
Thumb up. I'd probably watch it again, too. I mean, people have probably already seen it. It's the biggest earnings for an R-rated movie of all time. Yeah, if you're interested, go out and see it. I mean, some people love it.
Yeah, 8.5 I give it a thumbs up. I'll watch it again, and I'd recommend it to who if you'd like this movie. So, all right, let's get into spoilers.
My biggest issue with it, I probably should have said this before, is that it brings up so many themes, but never says anything about them. Oh my god!
Oh, cut
Wow,
that out.
that came roaring through my headphones.
Cut that out.
But yeah, like class warfare and mental health and all this stuff is like brought up, but it never says anything about it.
Yeah, but at least it doesn't beat you over the head with it. And I thought the mental health thing I actually thought it was really good. I thought they said enough without saying anything.
He almost gets better once he's off medication.
And he starts killing people. But yeah, like mentally, like he's probably happier.
He says he's happier and everything. Also, that scene where they explain that Zazie Beetz was never actually in the scene, I rolled my eyes so hard. That was purely for like the focus group that they tested the movie with. It was like, wait, is she real or is she not real? Why didn't she recognize him? That part was brutal.
Yeah, it'd be great if we could make a law that you don't do the flashbacks of a fake character not being there.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all seen Fight Club, guys. You're not like reinventing the wheel here. You bring physical pain to my life. However, I mean, yeah, and it was so obvious she wasn't real.
I mean, the second he kissed her, it was like, that's not a thing. There's no way that's a thing.
Do you think anything else in this movie was fake? Fantastical.
Some people said, like, maybe the whole movie's fake because he's in that asylum at the end. Then that makes the entire movie pointless. So that's not true. I thought it was interesting the potentially Thomas Wayne is gaslighting his mom and that she really did have the kid. And that's never really answered. But I mean,
no, and I like how that wasn't answered.
Yeah, but
none of that.
Brian Tyree Henry said she was insane, right? Is that where he got that?
Yeah, but
maybe Thomas Wayne forged that or something.
Yes, Thomas Wayne.
Yeah. So I thought that part was interesting. That was the one part I liked because Thomas Wayne and the Wayne family it's always held up as like these saviors of Gotham. Like in all the comic books, in all the movies, they've always been that. And I like how they give you this other point of view of how he's just this elite rich person that isn't really helping the lower man like during this garbage strike and stuff. So I actually kind of like the ties to Gotham and the Wayne family. Those actually worked for me. But the Joker himself isn't the Joker from the books at all. But
not at all.
I mean, not really. I guess in one very specific iteration, he tried to be a stand-up comic, but then that's it. That's the only really thing that ties to it. But yeah, you were going to say something. Go ahead.
I forget what I was going to say, but
Perfect.
I think there's a lot of people who have been having this debate, and I just want to say that I don't think the debate's even worth talking about. And it's who's better, Joaquin Phoenix or Heath Ledger as Joker. I think both characters are completely different, and I think they're both fantastic in their own right. I also heard a theory that this Joker is the Joker that inspires Heath Ledger's Joker. These movies are in no way tied to each other. Completely different directors. Those are two fan theories that I read that, one's a fan debate, and one's a fan theory that really upset me that I wanted to bring up.
Everyone's trying to put this in an existing universe, and it's just not. But yeah, because you introduce Bruce in this, people are trying to shoehorn how this works, and because he's, 40 years older than Bruce at the time, like, how would it play out? So yeah, everyone's saying he isn't the actual Joker, but he inspires future Joker to take on Batman and stuff. But then that detracts the whole point of the Joker, who rises up in response to Batman. He's the chaos to his justice. So then that doesn't make sense either. But I digress. I would be upset if this wins like a Best Picture. How would you feel about that? As someone that actually really liked it, how would you feel about that?
If this won Best Picture, how would I feel? I wouldn't like that too much. No, it just, at points, it feels cheap because it's in the DC world. There's some movie not any way connected to a comic book movie, it would feel different, but at points it feels cheap. And it's like the references like Call Me the Joker and stuff like that. I mean, that's not fair. It probably isn't fair. But yeah, I wouldn't be happy if this won Best Picture. Best Actor, I love Joaquin Phoenix. He deserves an Academy Award. He's fantastical in this. So I'd be okay with that.
I mean, score as well. Would consider it. Score is amazing. And cinematography. Like, this movie is disgusting. Like, set design. Like, the world they've crafted here is really, really good. Like, you feel the grossness of the city, and it's like an underbelly. So that stuff I would award. But for Best Picture, I think that'd be insane.
I always love a movie about a villain, too, where you're, like, rooting for a villain, who's a bad guy. Love
like
that
Billie
stuff.
Eilish?
Make you feel some empathy for a bad person. I always enjoy that. And did you think that he was Thomas Wayne's son? Or, I mean, he could still be, but were you surprised when it came out that his mom was insane? Because I was kind of leaning that way, that his mom would have been crazy too.
Yeah, I kind of thought that from the start. But I like that they introduced the idea that maybe it could go either way. Because Thomas Wayne's a dick. Like, you even see him up close, he's an asshole. So
yeah, punches him in the face and stuff. So
yeah, I really like that part.
Yeah. So I was talking to someone afterwards, and I'm like, I like how it was very ambiguous what year it was, because it takes place in a comic book, so you can kind of jam in a bunch of different years together. Because I'm like, there's a lot of like 1940s, 50s music, and like fashions all over the place, and like cars and other aesthetics are like late 70s, early 80s. And then I guess if you look on the Wikipedia page or somewhere in the synopsis or whatever, it says 1981 Gotham.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess they take place in 1981. And like they watched Modern Times, which came out, I want to say, in 1924 or something like that. So that was weird that they just like there's a concrete date to actually when this was. It was 1981.
Oh, that is interesting.
What year did you think it was?
I mean, late 70s, early 80s. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I was just missing things.
I think a lot of that comes from it just being Scorsese light. And being like, Taxi Driver came out in 1977, or 70, I think 77, 78, whatever. Yes, that I think I just... 76? My bad. So I just assumed, this is just the same era.
Yeah, it's gross New York 70s movie.
Man, New York is, disgusting. Have you seen, pictures of old New York? I guess Taxi Driver takes place then. It's just, oh, God, how could you live there?
Like, New York's disgusting. I couldn't imagine how gross old New York was. Ugh. I hate New York.
I went for the first time in August.
Really?
Yeah.
Who did you visit? Or was it just a family trip? What happened there?
I went up for my niece's baptism in Connecticut, and it was like a 40-minute drive into the city, so...
Family checked it out?
My siblings have never been there. My dad, I don't think, had ever been there. So we all were like, yeah, we're not going to get here. I won't be anywhere close to that for the next couple of years, so might as well go now. I liked it. I like big cities, though.
I like big cities, too. I just don't like that big city. But I also had Harrison Malachek, who was my tour guide, and he's just the worst. So
Yeah, that
we went to the same bar every single night there, and I hadn't been in Brooklyn. I was there for like 6 days. So, Harrison, you're not the worst. I know you're not listening to this because you don't love me, but you're not the worst.
Anything else to add about the Joker?
We didn't say incel, which I'm shocked. So I'm gonna say the word incel right now.
Oh, when you said it's important that they show these kinds of stories in regards to like school shooters, I thought you were talking about incels. So that's when I was going to insert the word incel, but I don't want to talk over you because I feel like we've been doing that way too much already during this podcast.
Did you think, I've heard some people say that it's apologetic to violence, over apologetic to violence, and that's why I don't like it. Did you fall in on that side? Because you didn't enjoy this movie that much, so.
No, but also, it's like, it was like, and it's not that it was pitched, but like, in the lead up to it, it was like, oh, this movie is hyper violent. It's so violent. It's really not that violent. There's one like.
Except for De Niro getting his head blown off.
I would say there's one execution with Robert De Niro. Other than that, it's like people get shot, which we've seen in like PG-13 movies. Like, it's not like. I mean, yeah, I guess he kills that guy that's crawling away. I guess that's based on a real story too. That the train killings of like.
Oh really?
Yeah, I guess some black guy killed a bunch of Wall Street guys on a train in like 1984, and it was kind of based on that and how like the city reacted to it. I could be slaughtering that, but it's something like that. But yeah, this wasn't.
Keegan's quoted and saying
quoted, yes, from the horse's mouth. But yeah, this wasn't like the crazy. This wasn't like Kill Bill 88.
No.
Whatever.
No.
Or the Crazy 88s, where it's just like they needed it black and white because it's so violent. This was just like, hey, people are getting shot. Actually, I guess that when he kills the big dude in his apartment, that's pretty brutal.
Oh, smashes head against the thing.
Yeah, that's pretty tough. But I don't know. I think we've seen stuff like that before.
We almost didn't say Robert De Niro's name too.
What'd you say?
We almost didn't say Robert De Niro. He was fun in this movie.
Yeah, he was fun. I mean, also him being in it though further strengthened the Scorsese thing.
I know. I mean, he wants to give Scorsese vibes though.
Yeah. I think the build-up really hurt this movie. From the memes to the expectation of violence to the media almost seemingly wanting a shooting. It's like, I don't know, I feel like that kind of hurt where I fell in the movie going into it.
That's fair. What late night person did De Niro remind you of the most?
Letterman? I don't know.
I'm going Leno.
Not funny and kind of fat? Yeah, sure, let's go with Leno. I just picked Letterman because it's the first one that came to my head.
Okay. And now we go to Parasite.
What did you know about this going in?
I was going to say, for a movie that everyone's seen to a movie that probably only me and Keegan have seen.
I'm not going to spoil my review just yet. Everyone go see this movie, please. If it's near you, go see it.
What did I know about this movie going in? I knew that it was getting rave reviews, almost 100% Rotten Tomatoes. It might still have it. It's like a 99 now, maybe. Not quite sure. But rave reviews. It won Cannes Film Festival. I pronounced it right. Keegan's pumped. And I knew that it was like, I don't even want to say this last part because I don't want to even give away a little bit much about this movie, but I knew it was going to be really good. And I honestly thought I might be getting my hopes up. And I knew it was in Korean. What'd you do now?
That's what I knew. It was in Korean. It won Cannes. Everyone that saw it loved it. And it's from, oh, nice. What is that?
It's a little book that my theater gave me.
Nice.
You know, like Gateway has like the monthly thing. Yeah.
And Bong Joon-ho directed it, who did Okja, if you've seen that, and Snowpiercer, which is an amazing movie. It might be on Netflix still. Okja definitely is. I think it was a Netflix movie. Have you seen Okja?
Nope. OKJA?
Yeah.
J.I.?
J.A.
Yeah, I remember hearing about it, but no, I have not seen it. I didn't know they were the same director.
Yeah, cool. He dabbles in English movies semi-frequently. I've wanted to see Okja forever, but never got around to it. I said Peanut Butter Falcon might be my favorite movie of the year. I think Parasite is my favorite movie of the year. I knew nothing going into this movie, and I'm really so glad I did not know.
Yeah, this is a movie that you don't want to know anything, and should we just give our scores right now and then get into spoilers?
Yeah, because kind of that's all we can really do.
Yeah, so I had to look back and just double check on a couple scores I gave here just to say that. Because I walked at the theater, I'm like, this is some rarefied air here. I'm like shaking at how much I love this movie. And I'm going to give it a 9.5. That ties 8th grade and just below Calling by Your Name for the top movie I've ever given to this. And both those movies won my movie of the year. So this is the heavy favorite. This movie is phenomenal. It gave me a little bit of like the Mexican big time directors, the Three Amigos type of movie. That's the best way I could describe it. There's twists and turns. This movie's awesome.
Yeah, it's so good. I don't even want to say like anything because like I think me going in blind helped so much. Like I didn't even know what genre the movie was at all. So
I don't even know what genre to say it now either though.
Yeah, that's true. So if it's near you, I know like it's not in Columbus yet. I think it's coming soon. But yeah, once it's close, see it. I know it's in Korean. It doesn't matter. Fucking read. It's so good. Also 9.5. Movie's incredible. This is very early. It's probably my favorite movie of the year. Even come December, I fucking love this movie.
Yeah, it's really good, guys. I recommended Ian Leak because he was like, Parasite, what is this stuff? Everyone's talking about it. I'm like, yeah. And then I saw it was here. I'm like, I got to go see it. And I recommended it to him. He's like, oh my God, there's a showtime an hour and 10 minutes away. I think I'm going to go see it tonight.
Holy shit.
It's that good, though. It's that good. Like, honestly, if you're like, oh, the closest showtime's an hour and a half away, make a Saturday of it, guys. You will always remember the theater you saw Parasite in. Yeah. Honestly, it's that good. It really is. All
right. So spoilers. Man.
We'll just walk through this.
Yeah, we'll just walk through it. So based on the poster, I was like, oh, this has to be like a horror thriller movie. And then 5 minutes, I'm like, oh no, this is just a straight up comedy movie. Like this is just a Korean comedy, because it's hilarious and absurd, and the premise that these people are just like slowly invade and steal money from these people is just incredible. And then out of nowhere, people are trapped in the basement and death ensues. It's like, what the fuck is this movie? This is insane.
Yeah, I thought I read an article that said the 2019 movie is a South Korean horror movie. I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. And then I saw the poster of it. I'm like, oh, it looks really like these people are like demons, I'm assuming, because their eyes are like blacked out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow. And then you're right, like an hour in, I'm like, oh, it's called Parasite because of this. It's a funny family drama, and this is hilarious.
Yeah.
And honestly, it could have been that. And I probably would have came on here and gave it a 9. Like, I was loving it. I was laughing. There was a lot of like modern technology jokes. Like they're trying to find the Wi-Fi, and I was loving all of it.
They're all so lovable too. Like every character, you just fall in love with immediately. Their dynamic is amazing.
And like all their storylines, how they all have their own storylines, and they're like intertwining with each other. It's like, oh, this is really good. And then it turns into one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. I literally have my two hands shielding the screen from me at certain points. It's like there's some of the most intense scenes you'll see in movies. Like, wow. And the house is awesome. There's an IndieWire article. I haven't read it yet, but it's how they came up with the house in Parasite. I still want to read it because the house is another character in this movie, big time.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts. So you haven't seen Old Boy, have you?
No, and I feel like, is this like Old Boy at all? Because I know it's like a South Korean action.
It's
movie, like
Old Boy.
I regard like drama.
So this movie's not fucked up. Old Boy's super fucked up. But like once there's that twist of the guy in the basement, I'm like, oh shit, this is about to be another super messed up Korean movie. And it never really gets to the level that Old Boy gets to, but I was ready for like shit to go down. And shit does go down.
It gets pretty messed up though.
It does get messed up, but I mean Old Boy is like next level gross and just really messed up. I mean Old Boy's amazing. You should watch Old Boy, but yeah, it does get messed up for sure. But oh my God. When the family comes home and they're under the table and everything, I'm just like, there were green room levels of butthole clenching for me.
Yeah, totally. Most
it
intense movie I've
goes.
seen since Green Room for that.
It goes from like goofy family comedy to like what the fuck, tense mayhem out of nowhere. I've never seen anything like it. It just toes the line just so perfectly, and then just flips it.
And like the score changes and stuff, and it happens. Most horror movies, they go through a certain rhythm where like the first 15-20% of the movie is like a typical movie. Then there's a twist, and then it's a horror movie. This movie is like an hour and a half before it starts getting scary.
It's so
like an
long.
hour and 45 minutes. You're almost ready for it to be over. And then it turns into this whole entire different thing.
And it's insane that like when the old handmaid, I guess, comes back. Is that the right word? No, the old maid. What the fuck's a handmaid? That like delivers kids, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Whatever. When the old maid comes back and like threatens to expose them, it literally feels like life and death. Like the stakes are so high for like, I mean, worst case scenario is they get fired and maybe arrested or whatever. But you're like, oh my god, this is the end of the fucking world if she sends that text. Like he does such a good job to make this small story just seem like so high stakes.
And it's the massive build up to it, which is why it works.
Yeah. Because they're finally happy. They finally are out of like they're out of the still living in that shithole apartment, but like they're finally making money. They're finally like experiencing high class living, and then with one click of a button, it can all be over. And it's just like, oh my god, I was gripping my seat and shit. It was so good. And then the killings, speaking of ultra violent, are brutal. When that dude When the dude hits the son in the head and then throws it at his head again, I'm like, ah! I couldn't believe it. Could not believe it.
And he picks up the knife and then just stabs her brutally.
Yeah. Why do you think the dad kills the high class dad?
I mean, I think it was slowly eating away at him the whole entire time, like how he kind of... I don't want to say that the dad is like self-conscious, but I'm going to say the word self-conscious is the best thing I think of. But like how he's like making fun of like the way he smells and stuff like that. And I think he realized that just it was almost him just like attacking the higher class almost, you know.
Right. Because
it was more of him rising up and just kind of sick and tired of the system, and he knew that everything was already going to shit, so he just kind of wanted to go out with a bang. How'd you take it?
Yeah, low class dad sees high class dad plug his nose, so he realizes that the high class dad sees him as the same way he sees this like maggot man from like below his house that just killed 3 people, and that he equates them on the same level is what kind of drove him to do that. Yeah, I mean it's a movie all about class and shit, but and that's what kind of drove him over the edge. I wish he didn't do it because I want that family to be happy, but.
It's just so weird that the daughter dies. Like, the one that died in the family was the daughter.
I love the daughter so much. It's just absolute con artist. Yeah. Just seeing them work their magic on this family was so awesome.
She was so witty, such a fun character.
Yeah.
And then I think you knew he was in the basement, right? When they couldn't find him. Like, homeboy went to the basement, you know?
Oh, yeah.
The dad.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool with the light and stuff like that. Just such great writing. This whole movie is so well written. Mm-hmm. Everything kind of foreshadows, or at least is used later on in the movie. There was something that I really, really liked that came back later in the movie. I forget what it was. Maybe it'll come back to me at some point.
I love how the husband trapped in the basement just like worships the dad above, like lights his path as he goes up, and he just like. He's in such a shitty situation, but he still like is so thankful to have the small space he has, the food once a week that he gets. Like he worships these people above him. It's so messed up.
It is so messed up. Definitely an attack on class. This is better than Joker as far as an attack on class.
Yeah, because actually like kind of gives it. It says what its theme is and then follows through with it. It doesn't just like hint at it throughout.
Yeah, that's fair. I did think that the TB thing was a little iffy. As far as like all the other ones, they seem like, like I could see how a person would get fired for it, but the TB. But with the ketchup packet, that was so funny.
Oh my god.
How he sprays it. Not a ketchup, it was like a hot sauce
packet, yeah. He turns around and just like
holds it up in the air.
Holds it right there. And she's like, "Did you wash your hands?" He's like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah.
Yeah. But the way they worm their way into it is so good. And the daughter makes up that he has like the schizophrenia corner and shit. Like they're so smart. If they use any of their talents anywhere else in the world, they'd be successful. But they use it to con this family. But hey, more entertainment for us. Do you see this making a splash? I mean, I think it'll probably win Best Foreign Movie. But do you think it could win Best Picture?
I think it will win Best Foreign Movie. Could it win Best Picture? I think it seems like it's a shoo-in to get nominated. Could it win Best Picture? Probably not. I think it'd be hard for it to win Best Picture. What do you think?
I think it'll get nominated. I think it'll get the Roma treatment. It'll win the foreign awards and then get a nomination.
Here's an interesting question: Roma or this? What's the better movie? I kid.
I will not even dignify that with an answer.
I think some people should probably get acting noms in this movie, but I don't think anyone will. I think the dad's very good. I think the daughter's really good for supporting. But I don't think either would or will.
Yeah. I think also, though, it's hard. Like, every foreign movie I see, everyone is an amazing actor. But that's probably just because I can't understand their delivery or anything. But, yeah, the dad's awesome in this movie. The daughter's awesome. Yeah, they're all really good, but I just don't know if they're actually good or not.
I thought it was so funny when they're watching their son out and sleeping outside the front yard in the teepee, and they just start having oral sex right in front of them. just so awkward. They just keep blending in humor.
Yeah,
pretty awesome.
I was shocked with how hard I was laughing at stuff. Well, this is what the lady next to me let out a blood-curdling laugh at one point, and she held her mouth shut for the next 5 minutes because she was so embarrassed with how loud she laughed. She was screaming, laughing. It was so funny.
Talk about a movie that just is the whole range of emotions. This movie right here makes you feel everything.
Tough to beat.
Was it kind of weird, the 16-year-old relationship with the 20-year-old guy, or were you okay with it?
Oh yeah. That was weird because she also did the same thing with the guy before it too, so
yeah,
bit of a promiscuous woman. I don't know. I thought it was funny.
Girl. Yeah, I thought it was funny too.
Yeah.
All the family stuff was very just funny and cute. Yeah, the son being an artist or whatever was funny. It's a tortured artist.
Yeah.
The 7-year-old.
Yeah. See, I thought, because I knew nothing about the movie, I thought that was gonna be oh, this kid is possessed or something, and he's gonna try to kill everyone. But then a scene later she goes, yeah, I totally made that up, that he has schizophrenia. Because what happened in first grade?
Yeah.
And the mom stares at her for 10 seconds. I was oh shit, this is where it's gonna get crazy. But then that's just totally dismissed 5 minutes later.
That's why I think this movie works. Yeah, like you said, movie works really well with a little sense of mystique around it.
Yeah.
How about The Rock? What do you make of The Rock that he's carrying around?
So that was a symbol of wealth, right? And then
it was given to him. Yeah, bring wealth to your family.
And then, do they move it, or the mom washes it, or something? Something happens with The Rock, and then their fortunes start to go.
I think you're right.
I can't remember.
Then he carries it around with him all the time.
So, I mean, I know that Rock was supposed to bring wealth upon the family, and then they get it, obviously, but then I can't remember. It gets moved somehow or removed from its base, and then shit starts to go down. I
forgot that the daughter of the wealthy people just gets killed too.
Oh yeah,
doesn't she get brutally murdered? Yeah, no, she just gets
I can't remember.
Or no? Doesn't she?
I know the kid has a seizure, and they take him to the hospital. She comes down later looking for Kevin.
Yeah, did she get murdered then?
He was. Maybe she does.
Man, I literally saw this movie less than 24 hours ago.
I mean, there's so much chaos in that last scene.
Yeah, there is. I think she dies, but then that's never addressed again. So maybe I'm getting a little nervous now.
Well, because then that family moves out, and you never see them again, and then it's all about them reuniting eventually in the future, hopefully.
There's 3 Kims in this movie.
That's the last name.
Oh, we go backwards.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I only know them by their American names. Jessica is the daughter. Kevin is the son.
Her name's Dahi.
The dad goes by Kim, and the mom is actually Chung Hook, because that becomes a thing that the guy remembers her name from the wife. Other than that, I could not tell you a name. Anything else, Mike, to add about this masterpiece?
Nothing more to add. I feel like there's a lot I want to say, but I got nothing right now. But hell of a movie. Go see it. Neon, man. Neon distributed. And I saw it before this movie, and I go, Neon's doing a hell of a job.
Neon's approaching A24 Fox Searchlight status. I think they do a lot of British foreign stuff. I feel like I see Neon before, like, British movies all the time.
First time I remember seeing Neon was I, Tanya, but it also did Ingrid Goes West that year. And that was the first year it was out.
Oh, could be making up the... Oh, you know what I'm thinking of is I4, maybe? I don't know. Something with a white background and then red logo. I think of the wrong thing. But yeah, Neon does do good stuff.
I'm sure it's a movie that me and you will talk about a lot more going forward.
Once we get to
as far as the awards time.
And our
I want to see this
awards.
movie. I probably will see this movie again before like the end of November.
It sucks because currently it's only the closest one to me is a dine-in. If it comes to like a real theater, I'll for sure check it out again because it's free with my subscription. So
my hope is it doesn't make it to Cleveland until Thanksgiving, so I can convince people to go see it with me, or they'll want to go see it, so I can see it again. That's my hope here. But
Knives Out comes out Thanksgiving as well. Currently 99%.
Knives Out should be exciting.
Yep. Have you been watching anything else? TV, other movies, anything?
I watch a lot of stuff here or there over the course of the past couple months, but nothing that really I want to talk about. A lot of rewatches. Just kind of throwing them on in the background. Watched Grand Budapest Hotel the other day.
Nice.
For the first time since theaters. Great movie. But yeah. How about you? No TV shows or anything.
I watched a couple TV shows. Fleabag on Amazon, British
Is that
comedy.
As good as people make it out to be?
It's good. It's really good, and it's 12 episodes total, 24 minutes each. So I watched it all in one day, or I got one day and then the next night. So you could knock it out in like 4 hours. It's really funny.
What is it about?
Like a sex-craved woman, basically.
Oh.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Not what I thought. I was about a rapper. If I'm being honest, I was about a rapper.
God. It just won, I think, Best Comedy at the Emmys, Best Writing for Comedy at the Emmys, and then Phoebe Waller-Bridge
Barry got robbed.
And then Phoebe Waller-Bridge won Best Actress, I believe, for a comedy. It's damn good and super short. 6 episodes per season. Short episodes. I've started watching Watchmen, the follow-up to the comic book, and I've been digging it. People are hating it because it's anti-white. It's not. People are just sensitive. It's good, though. 2 episodes in, HBO. And then I watched all of Succession in like 5 days, like 20 hours of TV. Man, it's probably the best show currently on TV right now. It's HBO. What'd you say?
I said it's also HBO.
Yeah, it's also HBO. Yeah, so after Game of Thrones, don't cancel your subscription. They still got good shit on there. Yeah, it's basically about the Murdoch family and their stranglehold on media and news and stuff, and trying to take over the company from within the family and stuff. It's like Game of Thrones, but in a business setting. It's cutthroat as shit. It's also really funny. It's from Will Ferrell and Ad McKay, actually. They're EPs on it. From Gary Sanchez. Is that their production company?
I thought they broke up, though.
They're still EPs, I guess. Very good show. I highly recommend it. And it just ended, so you can catch up and then be ready to go once season 3 comes along. But yeah, that's it. I haven't watched any movies other than the ones... Actually, I've watched a shit ton of movies. I did them all earlier in the episode. But
in
nothing...
2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah, thank you. But nothing outside of those. I haven't been watching like anything on Netflix or... I don't know. I don't know why. Oh, and I'm reading American Gods again. Getting through that. Damn good book.
So you work at a movie place. Do people talk about movies all the time there? Or is it like... kind of talked about? Are you ever getting like recommended movies all the time? How's the workplace environment?
Yeah, we talk about...
I asked like 12 questions in one.
Yeah. No, we talk about movies a lot because we're getting sent scripts, so we're like, oh, this kind of reminds me of this movie or this show, and this is why this wouldn't work because it's too much like this, or this will work because it's a lot like this, and there's a market for it and stuff. So yeah, we talk about movies and shows a lot. which I love. This is the first time in my life
scripts?
I want to go into work, which is great. What's up?
So you read a lot of scripts?
Yeah, I'm reading a lot of plays, TV scripts, feature screenplays. I had to read a book in a day, which was tough. But, yeah, a lot of reading.
Was it a good book?
Unfortunately, no. Wasn't great. It's pretty boring.
Interesting.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's like doing a book report every day, which I did for the last 4 years of school. So I'm well equipped for it, and I enjoy doing it.
That's cool. Well, we're glad, Keegan. Glad to hear it.
Yeah. Thanks,
Us,
Mike.
Me and the whole ReBrew family is glad to hear it. I'm just dying on my own joke over here.
All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. You can follow us at movie_ReBrew, where we're still active. We're still retweeting news, still giving the occasional comment. Me at Catch One and Keegan.
Always still active. You're kind of always still active on the Twitter account, even during our hiatus.
We're still doing it. You at _Oglebay. You're still on Twitter, right?
I deleted my Twitter account when I started pharmacy school. Yeah, but this time I think it's for good.
Not just deleted the app, like your account gone. Okay. So you can't follow Mike, but you still go on the...
Keegan looks really sad.
I'm a little upset. You still go on the ReBrew, though.
I'm still on the ReBrew. So if you need to contact me, best way through ReBrew's DMs.
There you go.
What up, Mike?
Thanks for listening. We will see you in the future.
It will probably be like in the next 2 weeks.
You think so? I hope so. I enjoyed doing this.
Yeah, I enjoyed doing this too. It was fun.
Yeah.
We're back.
We back.
Like riding a bicycle.
I was very afraid I would forget the setup for all the audio equipment, and we would not be able to do it, but like a glove, like riding a bike. All right, see you next time.
Bye.
Sometimes you exploded, drop a few lines. When I catch you through the static, I wish goodbye. What a classic. Millennial girl in love once again. When it comes, she disappears. Maybe she'll stay.